actually more than a week. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but to be fair, I already filmed this entire introduction, the whole speaking part. I was in the park, it was a lovely day, and right when I was like, okay, bye, I love you, see you later, my camera died, and I was like, perfect, done, easy. And so I got home, put my SD card in the computer, and everything was shot like from here up. I mean backwards. I was missing this part of my body, so that was just talking mouth and a body. And I was like, so it's like, okay, can't use that, never mind then. And I just really haven't had time to sit here and do it all again. So now here we are. I just showered, clean, ready to go. So let's try again, yeah? So this past week we finished ABBA, started and finished, which is the same ABBA that I did last contract. Actually, every show now from here on out for me I've already done before. These are all repeats. So Rock the Concert was the only one I didn't know. Now I'm just kind of relearning and restaging with the new cast, the same thing. So this is actually like the ABBA like Blue Man Group one, where we have like the suits and the paint rollers and the drums and the parachute and like the big spectacle. So that was nice, again, every day with the dancers, really bonding and like going to dinner after, whatever. It's nice to rehearse with them. But now, since we put that one to bed, the singers have moved on to Can You Feel It, which is the one where I look like a glamorized clown, and the dancers moved on to Alcoholic, which is their show without us. So actually, we haven't seen them in a little while, but it's alright. But since we moved on to things that I already know, I've been getting like an okay amount of time off, actually. So on one of our days off, Melody and I, who is my F2, decided to go to Hannover, which is about 2.5 hours south of Hamburg. So we took a car down and then a bus back, and we decided to just explore the city, like to just get out and see what's around. So Melody, luckily for me, did a lot of research on what was around and had like a good game plan for the day. So I appreciate you, Melody, for doing that for us. But so when we first got there, we actually took public transportation up to, I think, Herrenhausen Gardens, which was the grounds of an old castle from the Elector and the Electress of Germany, I guess. The family name was the Guelphs. So if you know anything about history, I was on the grounds of the Guelphs castle. And they have some remains, but most of it is now just a big garden. But it's huge, like garden, like a double times like the metro parks in Mill Creek, like. And some of it is like a gate that leads into like untamed ground, and some of it is like really tamed and like in patterns, and there are statues everywhere. And so there's a museum section there that we went to, and also then just the grounds. There's multiple different things. There's also an outdoor open air theater because they used to have plays there, and now they do like concerts, so there's chairs set out for the concerts. But in the theater part, there are like 17 of these like bronze, gold, I don't remember if it's bronze or gold, statues, that some of them are still authentic from the original Guelph dynasty or whatever. So there was that section. They also still had the original banquet hall and the way that it was decorated and painted. So you see the walls are painted, and the top, the crown molding is all crazy, and like that was cool, where they used to have feasts and things, or orchestral concert things they would hold in there. So yeah, so that was grounds, fountains, water, flowers. There were some domes, like with like little statues inside, and then across the street, after we went to the museum, was a botanical garden, and they had like a whole cactus room. They had a whole orchid room. They had some like sea animal life, but we actually didn't stay to see that part. But so once we got our fill of the gardens, then we headed back to the old town. Old part of Hanover. There's new and old, and the old part had the Rathaus, which is the translation for town hall, and it was beautiful. It's like they had on the second story, it was like where there was a balcony section. The ceiling was like gold tiles. It was beautiful. It shone, like it caught my attention just walking up to it. It's really awesome. So we went inside, and it's very grand. Obviously inside, almost like a church, like a Catholic church, and but I tried many doors to try to get us into that balcony, and everything was locked. So try as I might, I couldn't find it. But that was breathtaking. And the back of it actually has a lake, and there was like a floating bar, which was super fun. So we did the Rathaus. Oh, and also while we were there, I don't know really the exact history of this, but maybe if somebody does, we can have a conversation. There was a man in a onesie, like a pajamas, outside the Rathaus, having to clean up like 1 million bottle caps. And so I guess the idea is like at a certain age, if you're not married in Germany, then your friends like make a huge mess for you to have to clean up as like a punishment for not having a wife yet. So that's what they brought onto the town hall, and it was like a lot of bottle caps. So I think I have a very short clip of that, but I don't know, pretty interesting. So from the town hall, then we went to this old church, which I cannot pronounce. It's a very long A name, so I'll put it on the screen. But basically it was left up after like some bombings happened in the war. So there's no ceiling, but all the walls are there, the altar and the steeple, it's all intact. So you walk into the church and it's just like open air, it's breathtaking, it's just like, it silences you immediately. It's just, and the juxtaposition of like the vines that were growing up the steeple, it was just like the difference of the life versus the destruction was just like, it really gave you pause, you know? So we spent a long time just sitting in there, just like taking in that experience. So they've left it as a memorial, they didn't tear it down. And actually on the inside, there's a peace bell sent from Hiroshima hanging. So after the war, that got sent here, and that's cool to see too with the characters and yeah. But that was probably, if you don't go to Hanover for any other reason, I think that church is cool enough literally to be the only thing that you go to visit. I really liked it. So after we went in there, we just finished walking through the town. The old town especially reminds you of like what you expect from Germany, like the timber, whatever the architectural term for the X's that they make on the outside of the houses, and other churches that are still being functional, like check out this cool organ. There's that. It was cool. So we just walked around for a little bit and did some shopping and walking around, whatever. Also I forgot, when we first got there, before we went to the gardens, we actually got crepes near the train station. And I ordered 2 because in the menu they looked like they weren't that big, but actually they were huge. So we had way too many crepes. We ended up sharing basically 1.5 of them because it was a lot. But they were delicious. A good way to start off the day. So yeah, so that was our Hanover trip. Another plus of having a lot of time off is that like there are a lot of people here that I actually know now. Like being in my 3rd contract, it's like I feel like I know a lot of people. So like Ed was here from my first contract, the singer. Elisa's here, the Italian woman that we all know because we somehow are always rehearsing together. And also Nenad was here, my piano player from last contract. And he called me when he first got here one day and was like, I just cooked Serbian food. Do you want to eat something? Like come over. And when I got my camera out, he put on the show. So he can just explain it to you.
So, welcome to Little Serbia.
Little Serbia.
Chicken made soup. Homemade salad, a little bit Serbian, a little bit Greek, Mediterranean, something like mixed. And then this is like healthy option of what my aunt is doing. She would cook the chicken and the rice and all of those veggies together, and then put it in the oven to roast it a bit, but that's super heavy, so I made like a healthy option of that.
Wow.
Which is still super tasty.
Good.
So yeah, it's been really nice every night to like finish rehearsal and like feel like all of the ships. Ooh, sorry, light. But it's been really nice to like feel like all of the ships are coming together because like people really know each other. So like every night we're all going out and going to the market for a drink or just like to eat or whatever. So like I said, we moved on to Can You Feel It this week. We also are kind of mishmashing, like we're doing 3 different shows next week. The dancers are doing their own shows, so like we're separate a little bit, but I think that we will have some more friends coming in, maybe some new adventures for next week. I don't know, but we'll talk about them when they come. And until then, I love you very much and I'll talk to you later.